Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, with daily insight on the Nasdaq-100 index, or the NDX, which is made up of 100 of the largest domestic and international non-financial innovative companies listed on the Nasdaq stock market. The NDX has been the barometer for U.S. large cap growth and also one of the best performing indexes over the last decade and a half, not to mention one of the most liquid index ecosystems in the world. Joining me this Wednesday afternoon is Ryan McCormack, factor and core equity strategist at Invesco, to discuss Nasdaq-100 weekly performance. And Ryan, it's been quite a week. There's a lot of things going on in the marketplace.
Yeah, there sure are. A good week for QQQ, though, up 3.79% versus the S&P 500 up 1.34%, and the S&P 500 value down 1.3%. I think you're starting to see some worry on the recovery trade, right? We've seen some deteriorating economic data, particularly in the employment picture. But this is sort of comes in the midst of largely better than expected earnings across the street. You look at today, and stocks are lower after the Fed left rates unchanged. They reiterated using their tools to help the economy. They've maintained their buying program at $120 billion a month until substantial progress on the employment or their inflation target is met. An interesting thing to note is they did add vaccine language to the statement. So the economy's path will depend on improvement against the virus and improvement as well in vaccinations. And it sort of underscores the story that we've been talking about now, Jill, for the past number of months, where positive data on the vaccine front, on the economic front, sort of fuels this reopen trade, and you see these deeper value cyclicals start to outperform. When the pendulum swings the other way and you start to see nervousness around a potential economic recovery or unfortunate data as it comes to COVID incidence rates, trading sort of reverts back to what we saw in the spring of last year, with investors gravitating towards some of these larger, growthy, innovative type stocks.
And we take a look at the next chart here to see where the sector performance is coming from. Where are you seeing leadership?
Yeah, and this is a perfect example of what I had just said. You see tech up 3.77%. You see communication services up near 6%, discretionary up 3.65%. And in the midst of all of that, right, those deeper value names, financials down 3.75%, energy down 6.61%. And recall, QQQ does not have exposure to those sectors, so the negative performance there, coupled with the positive performance in some of the growthier overweight sectors, certainly helped to fuel that outperformance against the S&P 500 this week.
And finally, let's talk about Microsoft. Had a pretty impressive quarter.
Yeah, impressive is one of a long line of adjectives that analysts are using to describe the quarter. The chart here just shows EPS growth over the past number of years, but this quarter is their Q2 21 quarter. Comparable EPS of $2.03 versus 1.635 estimate. That's a nearly 25% beat. On the revenue side, over $43 billion versus estimates of $40.2 billion. That's a 7.15% beat. A pretty staggering statistic here. Microsoft has seen 14 consecutive quarters of 10+% revenue growth. This quarter represents 17% of quarterly growth, and you have to go back to the quarter ended June 2017 for the last time that it did not grow revenues by over 10%. You see Azure cloud growth up over 50%. Commercial cloud, which includes Azure, grew by 34% to around $16.7 billion. So gaming revenue over $5 billion for the first time. Subscribers to both the sort of corporate Office as well as the consumer Office 365 ecosystems, both of those metrics up over 20%. So really this whole work from home environment that we've now been in for the better part of the last 9 months continues to show through here in the earnings. And there's really not an expectation for this to slow. When you're looking at sales guidance that Microsoft released, in the three business segments, the productivity, which includes Microsoft Office, intelligent cloud, which includes Azure and their server software, and then PC sales, which includes Xbox, Windows, and tablets, all beat analyst expectations. So all in all, a stellar quarter for Microsoft. And now attention turns to some of these other heavyweights. We have tonight Apple, Facebook, Tesla, and next week on Tuesday, Amazon and Alphabet reporting. So, the first in the QQQ heavyweights in terms of reporting. We'll see if some of these others can follow suit with Microsoft's blowout quarter.
Well, this family added to the Xbox bottom line, that's for sure. Ryan, great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.